the wealth will come one day. I don't want to get, rich for what the world gave me. I want to get rich for what I gave the world. So I'm just finding ways to give myself.
Damn, bro.
Hey,
Whoa, run it back, dude. What?
oh
You
man,
can't. Did was that just? Is that on the computer screen? Like, did you just? Was that off the
oh,
top? Welcome, everyone. This is Django. I am the host of the Venture X1 show. This is brought to you by Project 860. And I'm super excited for today. I have my guest, my brother, Will Houston, creator of Displaced by Design. He is absolutely incredible. This background is not working today, so we are going to give you the regular background. It's going to be sensational. I'm super excited. It's going to be heavy, but it's also going to be fun. And that's what I want it to be. I want you as the listener to feel like you can become what Will has become. If you see things, you hear things that remind you of yourself, of things that maybe you can overcome, of ways that you can become better, I want you to know it's realer than real. So without further ado, welcome, my brother, Will Houston. You,
I
you,
like that.
you like the look?
It's fire. That's a
Hey,
fire.
bro. I, this
Fire.
dude, this dude I know hooked me up.
Dang, that
It's a
must
vibe.
be
Bro. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. This is my color. Like, I'm a
That's
vibe right now.
it. Those blues are in.
Yeah, dog. I don't even know anybody with this blue. So, I mean, I know you've seen the other show, but I wanted to make sure that like this one's a little more lighthearted, where it can be serious, but it can also be fun. And so, I kind of put it in the intro that at the end of the day, my goal is to like have the people I know who are like leaders and entrepreneurs and just like great people overall to be able to tell their story so that maybe it can help somebody else see what they could become. And I know, like, I thought it would be great to have you as my first guest because you obviously reached out to me after seeing one of my videos on LinkedIn. And honestly, I kind of forgot that that's how we connected. Like
Yes.
you reached out to me and it was crazy. So I want to take a moment, Will, and allow you to introduce yourself to the people. Give a little background on yourself.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. First and foremost, really just thank you for inviting me on.
Of
Um,
course.
we did meet over LinkedIn, man. This man been introducing himself to the world via video for a while now. So it only makes sense that you got the web shows and the talk shows. So really, congrats to you, man. Your journey has been incredible, and I'm really grateful to be here. But a little bit about myself, just a kid from Ohio. I dropped out of grad school to start making clothes. I've had an incredible journey. I've ventured into several different fields and industries, but right now I'm solely focused on being a fashion creator. I'm the creative designer at Displaced by Design, and that is my story for the time being.
I feel that. I feel that. I feel like anybody can kind of try to make clothes, but like obviously you've done something and try to make it a little deeper. And the IG has been really speaking to me as far as like this human connection and things. And I'd love to kind of hear what's like inspired you to do more than just, have a clothing line to really like dive into what you're really trying to create with the brand.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for noticing. Uh,
I
let
got
me
the post notifications on, dog.
what's going into that. Yeah, honestly, toward the end of 2020, the brand kind of really kicked into what it could become. So from there, I wanted to make sure that I remained intentional with the storytelling aspect and the sharing of story
Mhm,
aspect. 2020 was a wild year. With mostly everyone being quarantined or locked down alone, right?
mhm, mhm,
So I
mhm.
wanted to focus on, human connection and establishing genuine connection and reintroducing people to their most authentic self with the intention to establish a genuine connection with someone else, right? So, when I got with the team, I was
Mhm.
like, listen, we're going to focus on human connection. We're going to focus on everything we do, everything that we do as far as marketing and, what I create and our designs and our products that we select. It's all going to be very intentional to be warm, welcoming, and provide some kind of sense of belonging. So that's just the plan. That's been the plan going forward with the human connection capsules that we'll be releasing over the year.
Endless vibes, dog. I'll be honest with you. Like, it's just such a well thought out idea. I feel like I've always had ideas, but like that one really just like hits home, like the connection, especially at a time where like people are just so disconnected. And also, I mean, the other crazy thing is sometimes I feel like people have great ideas, right? But then maybe they'll lack out on the quality piece, especially with clothes. And I'll be honest with you, bro, like with the sweater and like, I mean, I got one on right now, the colors, like what you've really created. Cause I mean, I had some clothing lines back in the day. I did a little fad life thing or whatever. Second, you put my joint in the dryer, it shrunk and all the letters came off. But since day one, you've not, what's the word? You never man, what's that word where you don't you didn't uh, bro, I just thought of that meme where it's like, when you try and you
Little boy.
I was what I was trying to say is you didn't like choose like go weak on the fabric. I can't think of what the word is. I mean, I'm having
Yeah, I never for me, what I would say or how I would word it,
yeah.
I intentionally never wanted to take away from, the quality. I didn't want to pour into, the certain aspect of fast fashion and Amazon next day shipping and ready to wear apparel and ready to wear clothing, because that's going to cost. That's going to come at a cost if you really want to upscale your business quickly and rapidly. Yeah, you're going to have to take the L on the quality of some of your blanks and garments. And I definitely didn't want to skip over that. I wanted to be very intentional with what we print on, the style of printing. A lot of people just think it's screen printing and that's about it. And within screen printing itself, there's so many different ink bases and et cetera, et cetera. I could go into that, but yeah, I definitely never wanted to let the quality of our products, fall below the minimum standard.
I feel that, bro. And it was like you never conformed, is I think was the word I was trying to go with. But when you that was terrible, dog. I'm sorry about that.
I would probably say I never compromised. Yeah, bro. I never once compromised. Never once said, "All right, man, I'm gonna go with this cheap blank because I got these orders pouring in, and the manufacturer, the supplier that I'm going to is backed up." With it being COVID, I caught a break. With shipping delays and everything that and the forth, I caught a break. I caught a really good break as far as shipping delays were concerned. But yeah, I knew going into it, like the moment I decided to pivot the company, this is what I want, and I'm going to execute on my vision.
So why don't we take a step back though? Because I mean, when I first met you, I don't think you had the clothes really rolling yet. I mean, for you, why was it clothes? What speaks to you about doing the clothing brand and such?
For sure, absolutely. No, it was definitely not clothing at the time we met. It was something within the same realm of storytelling, but it was a lot different. But with me, I've always been intentional with how I dress. I've always wanted my, what I'm wearing to be expressive. I never really wanted to look like what in my lowest times, what I was going through. And when I had some of the best of times, I wanted how I dressed to emulate, my mood and match my personality as well. So I've always been intentional with what I've been wearing, and I'm a big dude. So, for me, it was always hard to find form-fitting apparel. Like, skinny jeans were in, and I buy just regular slim cut jeans, and I got slim fit jeans right there. So it was always a struggle finding matching my style. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna do this on my own. I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna look for sources or resources and suppliers to create pieces and garments that match me, but also my body type and how everyone's body is different, match other people's body types. So that's definitely why I wanted to go into the fashion industry, because I'm just a very expressive guy.
Yeah, no, I feel that, bro. I'm really disappointed in myself today. Like I was supposed to get a cut, so I didn't look so crazy. I mean, you out here, you always look fresh. You always like got the good look. I just let myself huff like way too often, and I wish I was better about it. But I mean, you're one of the few people who I've ever talked to who made me feel kind of small. Like I've always been like 6 foot, 225. I remember one day we were talking about on size. You were like 225. Like 225 is big, bro. Like Like, come on, dog. You're not even like, you don't want to see me in the gym. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
come on, man. Ain't
oh,
no
all right, bro. But I've had the same problem, right? Like, I always want to help out a homie when he had a clothing company. I'll be honest, like, I've had like 4 or 5 people hit me up with clothing ideas and stuff, but I already know that, like, if I buy it, it's not to wear because 9 times out of 10, it doesn't fit me. Like, I have to get my jeans from the same place every time. I get pretty much the same shirts. I have one other buddy who's made a clothing line that actually fit me, but I'll be honest, like, as far as hoodies go, this has been by far the best as far as like just the fit, the way it goes all the way down, the way that, you know, it hugs and just perfect. So, you know, I think it really speaks to you to go out and really decide to try to not only create a really great product, but create a great product that fits your issues and the challenges that you had. So if you don't mind, could you jump into what was your process like when you decided you weren't going to conform? Like, you know, obviously it couldn't have been easy trying to find the right people. So, you know, what was your journey like in trying to find how to make the clothes? Because obviously I don't think you sew the clothes from beginning to end. So what was your like process like?
no, I don't. Not yet, at least. Not yet.
Yeah.
But
All right.
no, man, I spent a lot of money. You know, when you do your research on you know, this the industry
Mm-hmm.
in itself, really truly any industry that's product based. You know, they say, you know, you're gonna have to buy samples, get samples, and you're like, no, I can just look at the reviews and go from there. No, I really went for, you know, the process of spending that money on those samples. I think, you know, when I first started the brand in 2018, we just did black and white t-shirts. You know, and I was really spending a pretty penny on those blanks because I'm like, nah, I know what kind of t-shirt fits me. I know what kind of shirt is good. I know the shirt quality. So let me just make sure I put out good quality shirts so I have returning customers because they're like, I know the shirt can last, as you said, right? So, you know, within my research, I tried to eventually find ways to take that cost per blank down, but keep that quality at, you know, that same benchmark or try and raise it if at all possible. But it definitely is going to cost you money, you know, trying to find that right product. And truly, without actually getting into cut and sew, you're never really truly going to find the right product. You're just going to find something that's close or
Mm-hmm.
just barely hits that mark. And, you know, from there, it's all about executing.
Mm-hmm. So how long do you go like full Kanye on us with the just with the wildness and you gonna be out there sewing your own stuff? You got like what another 6 months before you just go crazy?
I think I have about another. I brought a sewing machine. I genuinely think I have about another 8 to 10 months. I'm going to get through this fall,
Yeah.
uh, but next winter, I genuinely I'm excited.
I
I'm
can feel it,
excited.
bro. It's
Try not to get you know.
yeah, man.
You
I
know?
know, I know how it goes, bro. I mean, I remember when we first started connecting, you know, I think like the first couple of things I was telling you to do was like, cause you were just in the journey in general and you were asking me about like books I read and stuff. And you really like read the books and checked out the videos. And I mean, I'll be honest, that's normally the hardest part I have with people. Cause when people ask me about, you know, my journey in general, and it's still a journey, like the journey never ends, as you know. Every now and then you give me that call when you have a breakthrough, because I know you've had them and I've had a bunch where it's like, oh, all these things clicked and made sense. But you did a lot of like the work before you really jump back into things. And, you know, I'd love to for you to be able to tell some of the people about just your own journey and like kind of maybe misconceptions you had in the past or minefields that they could maybe avert from your own process and what you've learned and grown from.
Sure, absolutely. So, you know, first and foremost, just talking about the journey and
Mm-hmm.
talking about the books, you know, and talking about the personal development within itself. I realized that Displaced by Design was bigger than a clothing brand and bigger than, you know, a clothing line and collections and capsules. So I realized right off the bat, it was a contemporary streetwear movement. Like this is a lifestyle. This is built on an idea. So right then and there, you know, I had to make sure that I aligned myself with the brand's message and meaning. And you know, I can't be out here lost as we were like as well. We connected early 2020, early mid
Yeah,
2020.
like it was like, yeah, right after I had quit my job is when we ended up
Yeah,
connecting.
so we connected relatively early, and then I fully pivoted the company in June. But I took that 60 days after we spoke, and I just really dove into bettering my life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
trying to live my life more intentional, and you know, live a more fulfilling life and bring purpose into my life. By doing so, I align myself with the brand. So, along the journey, you're definitely going to have some minds out there in the minefield, definitely some obstacles. To answer that question really quickly, we spoke earlier, or we just mentioned compromise. That's going to definitely be one that's going to be at every single corner of your journey. You're going to want to compromise. You're going to want to find an easier route. You're going to be like, man, this is hard. Not everyone is going to be as fortunate enough to be, 26 like I am, trying to, launch businesses. There are people younger, but there are people older, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the older people are probably like, man, I got mouths to feed. I got a mortgage to pay. I got to, cut corners a little bit. And that the minute you cut a corner, you set yourself back down the line. You may think it's an easy route there, right then and there, but it's not. So I definitely say look out for compromise.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely look out for comparison, man, because that is a crippling obstacle.
Facts.
And it is at every single corner and journey. And the minute you're up, you look to your left, look to your right, and you see someone in your same industry doing something better than you are.
No
And
doubt.
that will leave you up till 3, 4 in the morning trying to figure it out. But you definitely got to watch out for comparison. And those are two big C's. I just realized I both started to see. Those are the double C's, man.
The double C's. I mean, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. I'm with you on that, especially with the comparison. One of the hardest parts is like whenever you read a story, like I was just reading Steve Jobs' book. I'm reading, I try to read like about the people who I look up to. And it's always like you try to envision the process of what they went through. But a book normally fast forwards a 5-year period. So like if there's one big outcome in a 5-year period in the book, you can't really hold that. Like it'd be crazy. And maybe there's something I'll do one day. Like if I ever write a book about certain parts of my journey, like I'll just write, like leave a page blank for each day that led to like the next thing, because it feels like it's almost like it's skipping ahead. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's skipping ahead. It feels like you're reading the journey. But the worst part is like on the days where like you're sitting and you're waiting, because for you, like clothes are going to come in at some point, or like something was wrong with the shipment. Now you got to wait longer. You got to push something back. Something got like those days. Then you get on IG and you see that somebody just made some more money or just rolled out their product or whatever, things are going well. You're just sitting there like, this sucks. And then that's another day. And then, I mean, like it's 365 days in the year, bro. So
Oh, it.
that compromise, and I mean, not I'm sorry, the comparison, it's like, it was happening to me recently. Like the last like week, I haven't really had any big wins. I just been doing the same thing every day. And it's like, it's draining sometimes. Like, sure, I love the process. Sure, I love what I'm doing. But bro, a week straight of doing the same thing and not feeling any dubs, not the wave. That to me, like it hurts, but you got to remind yourself, like, that person's journey is not your journey. Like it might have been 6 months since the last time they had a win. Their win could be fake. I found that out quick.
Oh,
The money they have, they pulled out on a credit card because they like, and then they're going to put it right back in. Like, you really don't know what people are doing, man. So
yeah, it's all staged. The era of social media, it is highlights.
mm,
These posts are highlight reels.
mm,
And some of these great pioneers in the entrepreneur industry, that paved the way for all of us, and they left us these guidelines and these principles. Those
mm,
are all highlight moments as well. I've yet to actually read a book where they talk about that day where you wake up feeling unmotivated. And
mm,
David Goggins can't hurt me. He's come close. But
oh yeah,
there are going to be those days where you're just like, man, like you just said, you hop on Instagram, or I would hop on Instagram being within the fashion
facts.
industry, and I'm like, man, I see everybody and their grandmother is starting a clothing brand. Somebody with a Cricut press, you know what I mean? Someone just sitting at home bored bought themselves a Cricut, and they're just printing, some cool words on a T-shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has no substance, but it's a vibe, as you
It
said.
is.
Someone could literally print "It's a vibe" on a shirt, and people are gonna be like, you know what, it is a vibe. Where's this little T? And I'm gonna be putting out unique designs, and so that's one of the things that I really truly feel every entrepreneur, everyone in general, really,
Mm-hmm.
that's just something that everyone should look out for and try and
Facts.
do, because it's definitely going to present itself. It's definitely
No
the goal.
doubt. I tried to, instead of turning my old phone in, I kept my old phone and made a different number. And I basically have like my Instagrams, all my social medias on the other phone. So when I'm working or doing something else, I can't even check it, like unless I had that phone with me, and I try to leave it as often as possible. So that's been the best way I can cleanse myself. Because at the end of the day, like, sure, me and you can say it. And I want people to kind of understand this, because I feel like this is something both of us probably have a challenge with. You say to yourself not to do it. And you can go on video and say, I'm not going to do it. But as soon as Instagram pops up, it just is what is who we are, right? Like, I feel like that's just a core as a human being. How well am I doing compared to the people around me? But like, social media has made it so
Absolutely.
you can see everyone around you, and especially the people who are having the what appears to be the most success. So, I think there's no way around it. All we can do again is let you know that we're going through the same struggle, just to remind yourself of that when you see it. Like, yeah, for a second maybe it does hurt, or maybe you are, but like, remember that you're on your own journey, and like, you're gonna get it.
Absolutely. Your journey and your story is yours. It's no one
Mm-hmm.
belongs to you. So you only get one of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I feel that, bro. The what are some of your, to like kind of pivot, obviously Displaced by Design, huge goals, you want to really do something amazing with it and take it bigger, but for you, what are some of your personal goals? Like, what are some things that maybe you want to do this year at like a personal level, maybe even separate? Because I think sometimes people get caught in the idea of like an entrepreneur is just the entrepreneur. And a lot of times we have like other ideas, other things we want to do, other skills, like what kind of things are going on for you, maybe personally, or other business ventures or whatever that you're trying to do right now?
Sure, absolutely. First and foremost, I really just want to continue to be intentional, man. I like that's like really become one of my like, you know what I mean, like my catchphrases or whatever, man. I just want to
Yeah.
be intentional as I can with everyone. My biggest passions are just being of service. Like I really want to serve people and solve problems. So
Mhm, mhm.
I have some things in the works within the brand for myself personally, like taking it to the next level. But also in my personal life, I actually have goals for myself to better my life within itself right then and there. We were talking about writing a book. I'm actually writing. Um, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm also in the works of writing something special for the people. Just the support system that I have that have supported me, and something for the following base for Displaced by Design. But I think that is another way that I can give myself away. The money that we make is cute, it's
Mhm,
cool, it's flashy. That's one of the things that connected us. You were talking about, your job, how you made the money, but you didn't feel fulfilled, right?
mhm.
So, the wealth will come one day. I don't want to get, rich for what the world gave me. I want to get rich for what I gave the world. So I'm just finding ways to give myself.
Damn, bro.
Hey,
Whoa, run it back, dude. What?
oh man,
Yeah, was that just, is that on the computer screen? Like, did you just, was that off the top? Oh, that's that we if I hear that on Certified Lover Boy, I know that Drake was listening, bro. What was that you said? You said something about give it to the world. What was that, bro?
I'm not trying to get rich off of what the world gave me. I'm trying to get rich off what I gave the world. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get myself away as best as I can, as
Shit.
effectively and intentionally as I can, right?
Yeah,
So
bro.
that's my personal goal, just to become, the best version of myself, the best, be the best will I can be.
Bro, that shit was hard. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, when you said that, like, I kind of blanked out for a second. I missed the second part of it. I had to have you run it back because I was like, yo, he said that for real? Like,
Yeah,
yo, that was mean. I mean, bro, I try to tell people, like, obviously the first step is setting small goals. Like, the vast majority of people, if you ask them what they want, they don't know. They're just doing whatever they got to do, right? Like, you work to make the money to live the life that you live, have a house, have a car, whatever. And I agree, like, at a baseline, there are plenty of people who don't do that. So I get it. But then you don't realize you're just in a cycle of being alive. There is no movement towards anything. So maybe for, 5 years, maybe you kind of feel fulfilled because you're living in the cycle, but then all of a sudden it hits you that, like, there's nothing to it. And maybe you hit one of the goals you have about making money or whatever, but like I told you, I did it. I made I did pieces of what I had wanted, and I started noticing that there was nothing on the other side of it, right? Like, I make all this money, I buy all the shoes I ever wanted, like I had always said, and I get all the J's, and now, like, I'm like, what am I supposed to just wear all the J's and then like I gotta buy more J's? So, like I like bought the Tesla.
Every other week.
Yeah, I bought the Tesla and I was like, sweet, like this is a vibe. And then some days, you know, you kind of realize like now this is the new normal, but your brain automatically is looking forward, like, oh, I want an S or an X, or I don't know, man. Like it's tough at the end of the day. So I heard something recently that really helped me kind of realize how much in the moment we need to be. The dude said, that life is like water flowing down a faucet. Like it's moving in the same way all the time. And it makes you feel like the water is just constant, but it's different water at every moment. So life in a lot of ways is like this movement. It's moving forward. The water is moving. And sure, at times, maybe it feels like you're not like, it's just monotonous, but this is another moment to do more. And you have to set like these goals, maybe that are bigger than yourself to give back, because it's in those moments of beauty and like of growth, of watching someone love what you did, or like when you reached out to me and you were like, bro, I really loved your video, I want to like learn more, that I had to take a moment and really be like, that honestly did more for me than
Yeah,
my 11s or my 12s,
yeah,
my
right,
7s.
right. He said in the 7th.
or the 3s. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I love my civilians, I love my Concords, but like
Hey,
when you called and like our friendship now of growing together, like there isn't anything that's close to it. I mean, I know people say it and they say like, oh, you have all the money in the world, so that's maybe that's why you're saying that, but I'm be honest, like it's numbing. And if it wasn't numbing, we wouldn't have all the people who are super rich killing themselves. So, you know,
exactly, exactly. It's
so,
you know, it just doesn't bring you the fulfillment that you would think. I mean, it'll buy you things to
mm,
get fulfillment and temporary satisfaction, but like you said, that's monotonous, man. It's just it's gonna
yeah,
come and go. So you know, I just kind of realized, you know, you got to devote yourself to others, the community around you, and doing and being greater than what you are and
yeah,
what you know what you the space that you take up or occupy. You know what I mean? And that's how you find purpose and meaning.
yeah, true that, true that. I mean, the big thing for this, man, for me is I want people to understand with this show, and I think really you embody it, is that sometimes it feels like you got to reach a certain point to start being something or feeling a certain way, like feeling like you've arrived. But to
Right.
me, I feel like what you're doing is living your truth. That's why I joked about Kanye, like to the same level of like what Kanye feels. Like I'm doing what I believe is what's best for the future, to help other people. And even though maybe it's not exactly where I want it to be yet, like, or maybe it is exactly where it needs to be right now, but I know that like as I build this thing for the future, that it's gonna be like it, like people can I can already see it in my head of what it is, and I want people to feel that that's possible. Like you called me not long ago, and you didn't compromise, you pushed through, you made it happen, and like your IG, the product, the pictures, everything is just so quality, man. You
Yeah,
just
man, I really leaned into it. You know, that's the best way to put it. I really leaned into it. Uh,
mm,
you know, and you're talking about, and it's funny that you know you're mentioning Kanye and having like that type of empire clothing line,
mm-hmm,
and then him, you know, partnering with Gap. Like Kanye had that dream to partner with Gap way back when he was rocking polos,
mm-hmm,
and it just you know took 20 years to manifest, nearly 20 years to manifest. You think about 12, I believe, but you know, I think it's just you just got to really lean into what you're doing,
yeah,
and really just truly embrace it. As you said, like you know, I've gotten better with, you know, how I market my brand, how I promote it, the photos that I'm posting, the people that I'm choosing,
mm,
you know, color scheme. It's all intentional, and it's all a strategy. But it's just to be what I believe represents myself and what I want the brand to represent.
mm,
You know, I make everything from for my customers. I put, you know, the consumers over the product. That's how you make it. That is
mm-hmm.
truly how I believe you make it and how you become successful by putting, you know, people over product, right?
Yeah, no doubt, bro. Did you tell me you got rid of your TV?
I did. I did. I got rid of one of them at three. So I got rid of the smallest one.
Well, I know one thing we talked about, and I like, I really do want to kind of lean into this. Is like I always hear people tell me about what they want. And I tell people like saying that you want something means nothing to me. Like and part of me doesn't even really believe you want it. It makes me think you want a little bit of everything. And when people say like I have drive or that something is hard, I just always respond with like it's hard and you think you need to have all this drive to do it because you also want to do a bunch of other things. Like for a long time, I loved being on Instagram for hours or playing video games or watching TV. But I love that just as much as I love the idea of doing the things that I wanted to do. And now, like, because people are always worried I'm gonna burn out. And like, I'm sure, yeah, every now and then you might hear that with just like all the stuff you're working on. But the truth is like, I've chosen this over video games. So like, no one tells you you're gonna burn out from video games for playing for hours after you finish work. Like, this is
Right.
right. This is my piece. I love doing this. I love connecting with people. And I was like, we do this already. I spend like 45 minutes on the phone talking to people about what we're working on, what we're doing. So like, why not make a video out of it? And why not try to share it to people so that if one person hears it and is like, yo, I'd love to be able to do this. Like, maybe they reach out to you the same way they reached out to me. Like, yo, I heard your story and I think it's incredible. But like, what are some of the things that you tried to start working on and cutting out as you started getting serious in the brand? Because sometimes I hear people say they don't have enough money, and I'm like, well, maybe if you made your tacos instead of ordering Chipotle all the time and didn't go out to the bar all the time, you would have the money to get your samples. You would have the money to create your app, you know? What kind of things did you sacrifice to?
Yeah, so definitely, I definitely did have to give up. You know, I did sell my television. I realized I didn't need three, right? So I can,
That is wild, bro.
it was just too much. You know what I mean? I stay in a a single apartment. I don't need three TVs. But I've never really been big into gaming or anything like that. I definitely had to sacrifice I just had to get more discipline.
Hmm.
Was it wasn't so much of a sacrifice. It was just become more disciplined because I would still put the money towards samples, still put the money towards the brand,
Hmm. Hmm.
also still put money towards living, towards bills, towards leisure activities. So I just had to get more disciplined. Uh,
Hmm.
so because my life has been the same. I mean, my life is I'm pretty routine with most of the things that I do. We have the conversations. Wake up is work, gym, work some
Yeah, I
more.
called you today. You was at the gym, getting busy.
Right, right. So
All 260 of you.
man, look, listen, brother, I'm down to 250. Watch out.
Oh, watch out. Watch out.
No, oh man,
Oh, bro.
yeah, man. I'd say I should be more disciplined with your spending. I mean, if you do find yourself pressed for cash, like you said, where are you spending your money? Create a budget,
Mm,
create a plan. You should already have a financial plan with your business, but create a plan and a budget for your personal life. You are a business. You know,
mm-hmm.
I feel like that's where, and then, as I said, I leaned into it. I aligned myself. I became a business, and by becoming a business, I learned how to handle my business. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I think you really gotta stick to a budget and just look at where you're spending your money. Don't
facts.
get takeout all the time. You don't need a
Facts.
bottle of Crown or Hennessy every weekend.
I
If you're that drink,
feel you.
you know what I mean? Like go get you some Bud Light seltzers or something, some Coronas
Bro,
or something.
and
Yeah,
you know what's crazy though is when you find something you love, like I hear like the passion you have for this, and the passion I have for the apps, like for my job, for doing the podcast and stuff. Like you don't need to do that stuff as much. Like I used to drink every weekend, and sure, maybe like COVID helped me relax, but even then, I know some people who ratcheted up to drinking over COVID. So the process is like when you do. There's a moment like when you're doing something where when you look around you really feel like you lose time. Similar to how I used to feel when I played video games or when I used to hoop. But the only difference was like when I finished playing video games and I got into bed, it was like I wasted the day. But when I like spend a day doing stuff like this, doing the videos or talking to somebody, helping them through a process, by the end of the day, when I look back at the day, for one, I can remember everything I did. I remember the gym session. I remember the journaling. I remember everything. And it's like, that's where you want to, like, honestly, I feel bad for people who don't get to live like that because it's like, you just feel at home. Like you feel like this is exactly how life should be each moment. And
it
it's
doesn't seem it doesn't seem like I'm giving up anything because I'm thinking about. This isn't me sacrificing because, and as you just said, this is what you love to do. If this is something you are truly passionate about
mm,
and it gives you meaning and purpose, just do it. There is no burnout because this is it. I would rather burn out doing this than doing something else. So
facts.
I'll go hard until I burn out. And somewhere along the way, it's going to happen for you. Something's going to shake.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people just your passion becomes your pleasure, and our work becomes life. You know what I mean? Like that's why most people go into being an entrepreneur. They're tired of working for someone else, or they want to make their own money themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But it just becomes a part of your life. It is the journey. You know, it is your work, it is your job. It's what you're waking up to do. I sent you that clip. That guy in the car, he's like, I quit my 9 to 5 to work 9 to 3 a.m.
He did, yeah. It's the truth.
That's really how it is, man. It's really how it is, but I wouldn't give up a second, right? So you hit the nail on the head.
Bro, you just got like vibe, just vibey energy. We gotta spend more time talking to each other for real, for real. Like
Yeah.
it's just solid. Like honestly, sometimes the way you like deliver some of those statements, I'm like, bro's like Ross. Like you know when Rick Ross says some regular, like it's just like he does like a little like a chin scratch, and it's like
It's something like
yeah,
this.
and shit, he just like when the boss got the
Man,
when,
I'm doing impressions on this
yeah,
man.
and he does the hand joint like when a boss step in the room, they know. They know. That's it, bro. Your delivery is just crisp. I gotta get my delivery like you. I feel like I end up brushing over the solid parts, but every time you like say something, I'm like, damn, he said that.
Yeah, man, you just landed, right? I just
Yeah,
landed.
I gotta be more. I'm gonna start rubbing the chin more because I
Hey,
got to.
start scratching the chin. I ain't got the beard.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some Wingstop after this.
The wings.
Uh, so here we'll do some like fun stuff here. So for you, if you could go back to you in college, or maybe even high school or college, whichever you choose, what would
Yeah.
you tell yourself back then that you know you might that or what? Yeah, I don't even know how we say this. What do you if you could go back in time to
Mhm.
yourself in high school or college?
Sure.
What would you tell yourself to help yourself in the journey to today?
Yeah, yeah. So I've been out of high school for nearly 8 years now. That's so
Mm,
crazy to think about. Yeah, I would definitely, say going back to high school 10 years from now, I really thought, or 10 years ago, I really thought my life would be completely different. I thought I'd be doing something completely different in life.
thought I was a hooper.
Yeah, yeah, right. I thought you'd be a hooper, man. I thought I'd be in the league, any league, bro. I don't sign me up for whatever. I'm a William of all trades, man. Get me on the field, man. Like I really genuinely thought, I'd have a different life. I'd probably just go back and tell myself, you know what I mean? Like, regardless of the fact, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, you're gonna make it. You know what I mean? Keep your head up, you're gonna make it. And I'd probably tell myself to drink more water. You know what I'm saying? Stop eating those Sour Patch Kids like that and stay at the Asian buffet. But
Dang, bro, you said an Asian buffet like that?
buffet heavy, heavy, man.
What was it? Why don't you give it a shout? Is it still open?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
What is it? What was it called?
Asian Star in Dublin, Ohio. Yeah, shout out to Asian Star, man.
What was that? What was that buffet like? What was it? Was it hitting?
It was hidden, man. And people sleep on them buffets, man. That's like sleep
Buffets.
fast life.
I don't know if the buffets are gonna make it through COVID though, because like the whole walking up and getting your food. Is it open right now?
You know what? There is one that was open, and in one of my lower self moments, because I was tired of eating broccoli and asparagus and meatless
Yeah.
chicken. You know what I mean? I went in my lowest moment. I walked into the joint and oh, right around the corner, and it was open. I mean, the line was open, but people weren't serving themselves.
Oh,
They
okay.
weren't. Yeah, but I was like, man, no, I'm cool.
But so the Asian joint. What was the name of that Asian joint again? Where's it at?
Asian Star in Dublin, Ohio, man.
Hey, shout out Asian Star, yo. If y'all hear this, represent. We believe in you.
Yeah, no, but I would definitely not, and just to be light with it. That's what I would tell myself. But in
Mm,
all seriousness, man, just like enjoy the journey, no matter
word,
how it is, how bad it gets. Enjoy it,
word,
experience.
word. I
Yeah,
feel that, bro. I was in that same boat, bro. I definitely like was always looking forward to the next step. Never
yeah,
really like in the moment. If I could do it over again, I wish I was more present in those basketball games in high school. Wish I was more present in class. Wish I was more present with my friends in the lunchroom. Like it was always like the next thing. And like eventually I'm gonna be hooping and I'm gonna show everybody off. But for every story we hear about the kid who did make it hooping and he always believed in it, I feel like there's 1,000 stories of kids who always believed in it and their parents tried to help them and they just like, it didn't work. So, while you have those moments, you should enjoy it. So I'm with you on that, bro. 100%. Um, Another question I got for you is what are your top 3 books? What would you tell the people that they should read? What are the ones that, man, they just hit you in the head?
that just hit me in the head, man. A book I revisit all the time is The Alchemist. That's probably one of my greatest or my favorite books, man. That shit's really
Vibes.
cool. just the story. You
Slept
know,
on.
there's a gem in every single part of that book, every single part of Santiago's journey. I definitely say people should at least read The Alchemist twice. I just want you should at least read that twice.
I'll read any book twice, so I'm with that. I like that.
Absolutely. But yeah, and just remaining outside the industry. I definitely think and Grow Rich is a powerful book. It's
Classic.
powerful. It's definitely a powerful book. But as a man, as a young man, I definitely recommend people read this book by John Kim. It's a little unorthodox and outside of personal development, but it's actually called "I Used to Be a Miserable F Word." Right. So it's a really powerful book.
Dang.
Just about yeah. I used to be a miserable F word by John Kim. He obviously doesn't spell out the word. He puts a little asterisk where the U
Oh,
belongs. But I definitely say that book changed my life. Um, Brought meaning to my life, or it kind of highlighted some ways I've lived my life in the past. It does mainly deal with relationships, but
mm-hmm.
each and every connection you make is a relationship for me.
That's a
So
vibe.
whether it's with whether it's romantic or platonic, it
Mm.
shows you how to be more meaningful and intentional in those relationships. But in regards to the industry itself, I would definitely say some of the greatest books I've read that have helped me is "This Is Not a T-Shirt" by Bobby Hundreds and "Contagious" by Jonah Berger. Those are two really good books, and "Building a Story Brand." But yeah, just as far as life is concerned, man, you got to read The Alchemist. You got to read Think and Grow Rich.
Dang,
Got
bro. I said read three. You gave the people gems. Just running back through right quick. So we said Alchemist. We
definitely The
said
Alchemist.
Think and Grow Rich. We
I used
said
to be a miserable F word. It's
with
a
this
really good meaningful
asterisk.
book. Yeah, yeah, with an asterisk. That's just a meaningful book. That's just a book you read just to see, you're not alone. I think there's power in shared story, and there's power in knowing you're not alone. And that book kind of highlights both of those things. So I definitely think you should read that. But as an entrepreneur and a fashion creator, designer, whatever you may be,
Mm-hmm.
Not a T-Shirt by Bobby Hundreds of
Not a
the Hundreds
t-shirt.
clothing brand.
Vibes.
Contagious by Jonah Berger is a really good book of how things catch on. And everyone knows a book by, I believe it's Donald Miller, Building a Story Brand, building messaging into your business. So I definitely recommend those six. And nobody just reading three books, man. This is come
I
on,
mean,
man.
yeah, I mean, it's about the top three, but I mean, it was solid. You gave us top three like for two worlds, like it'd be one thing if you just was like, I can't pick one, I'm gonna name 10, and then you went off, but you gave me three solid on like This Is Life, anyone, and then like three solid if someone heard your stories, like I want to make a clothing brand or something, like I'll let that pass. I'm not gonna let that, maybe I won't let it pass for other people.
That's all
Um
right. So
the
I got it has to be a different interview.
I mean, yeah, bro. We always talk about like it's all about the reading. I read like 40 books in 2020, and then I slowed down a lot in 2021 because I realized that I really wanted to like sit in some of them. I think also people overlook YouTube videos. Like I bought YouTube Prime because I started calculating how much time I was watching YouTube commercials. It's the thing. I mean, like I like to, if I'm going to take all this time to figure out how much money I'm spending, I'm going to also figure out how much time I'm wasting. And I realized that 1 minute video every like 20 minutes on all these YouTube videos I was watching were pretty crazy. And there's not been a lot of studies done on people because, before we could write, it was oral traditions that went down. So, I wonder if it's going to really change the way we're able to think and recall information. So I always tell people to check out that YouTube Prime because there's all kinds of just, interviews and what are they called? Like people giving like speeches and stuff, just everything. So,
Definitely. And I'm a big Audible guy. I'm a
oh, same.
big Audible guy.
Heavy.
It's easier for me to retain audibly than it is, visually me reading it myself.
Word,
Uh,
word.
so yeah, so definitely there's some resources out there for you guys to read as many books and maximize your time whilst
No
reading.
doubt. The one other question I wanted to ask you. Well, actually, you know what? Hold the questions. Is there anything that in particular that maybe we didn't cover that maybe you wanted to take a minute to maybe talk about or kind of open up about? Like, I feel like sometimes people just roll through and they don't really take a minute to see if the guest really has anything on their heart or in their mind that maybe they want to talk about as we get closer to the end.
Yeah, honestly, that's a really good question. That really is a really great question. I can tell the people, the viewers, what's heavy on my mind and on my heart in a drop of a dime because it is just so heavy, and it's just something that I just
Oh, damn.
visually need to see,
Mhm.
audibly need to hear, constantly repeat to myself for inspiration.
Okay.
So that could be at any point in time. I don't have to say it here. I can say it at the end. It doesn't matter. I
Okay.
think it's a great conversation, if anything. If no one actually truly gets meaning or direction from this conversation, that's fine. My DMs are open. My email inbox is waiting to share some knowledge and give back. But I think it's just it's an honest, genuine conversation. From that, it's just people can
Yeah.
see the vibes, as you say, where the vibes are flowing right now, right?
All about the vibes, bro. The vibes are
All about
global.
the vibes.
The
But
big vibes. I always do this joint. Yeah, dog.
take that moment to just again thank you for asking me to do this.
Of course, bro. So now the end. I like to do two-part things. So I want you to tell the people your IG. We're gonna put it in there, but if someone can't hear us, I don't know. But also, what I also want to do is I want you to talk about what it is that you have coming, and if there are people you're looking to partner with or connect with to help take the brand farther or to work on something else, I want you to put that out in the universe so that if someone sees it who maybe goes, that's my skill set. Because at the end of the day, like for my app stuff, I don't know how to build apps, but a guy I grew up with, I reached out to him when I needed some music, and then we ended up staying connected. We've been making apps together for the last 10 years. So, the same way you and I have connected, I'd love for you to be able to put out in the universe what it is you're looking for, who you're looking to connect with, and what it is that you have coming next.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'll answer that two-part in one answer, really.
Mm-hmm.
What I feel I'm looking for right now with the expansion of Displaced by Design is I am definitely looking for creators, creators and creatives alike, artists, models, those interested in being a brand ambassador, those just looking to partner with me in helping my vision, helping carry out my vision. If that is anyone watching that feel as if you have some type of skill, whether you're a videographer, photographer, you like doing some modeling, you've gotten away from modeling. Maybe you started life, your job is taking up a lot of your time, or you got kids. You find yourself getting away from your true passions. Reach out to me on Instagram at Just Call Me William, or just reach out to the brand Displaced by Design on everything, on every platform. And my DMs and our inboxes are open. We're just looking to round in the displaced. Come join us. Come join the movement. We just want to influence everyone to be intentional and live your best and most fulfilling life. So if that's you, reach out. We have a spot for you in the Displaced.
Bro, you got the delivery on deck. It's the vibes, bro. I mean, the delivery is like A1. Oh my God. You can't even make it up, bro.
Come on.
Yo, come on, bro. The delivery is great. The vibes are crazy in here right now.
Hey, that's you, my guy.
Nah, bro. I've tried to do stuff like look. I mean, seriously, like I was trying to do the thing like we're brought to you by Project 860, and I try to talk like that, man. Even when it's written down, I can't. The delivery is. You must be like in the mirror, just Grant Cardoning it out here, bro. Because I can't.
I told you in undergrad, I had 2 college radio shows.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I had a radio show in college, and I did so well that they gave me a second one.
Dang.
And toward the end of my college career, my time in college, I like to call it a career. You know what I mean? Like I was really out there trying to be, that guy on campus, the radio dude, hosting plays. I was really trying to be out there and just be that bridge, connect culture, reach across cultural differences and boundaries, just pull everybody in through shared story. And that kind of,
bro, you got it, dog.
Displaced by Design, but that kind of influenced Displaced by Design. But yeah, man, it just, I enjoy being passionate about, connecting. I'm passionate about public speaking. So
yeah,
those 2 passions collide. And
I'll be honest with you, bro. I'm disappointed in myself. My delivery wasn't quite to tier, and my hairline is garbaggio. I just looked in this mirror, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Listen, man, we're still in a pandemic.
Nah, you're right. It's a panoramic. We're going through it right now.
That's what I would tell myself on them rough days. I get up, I'm like, oh man,
I'm one of them dudes in the gym with the hat on. Like, what am I even doing right now, bro?
Oh, goodness, man. It is a pandemic, I guess.
Oh, bro. Shout out to the panoramic. And look, to everyone out there, you know, I'm just so blessed to be able to have you as my first guest. I really feel like it set the tone for it. I mean, you really have helped me through some of my own processes. You know, I had an idea to do a podcast like 8 months ago. And as you know, sometimes I have ideas that then like it just like falls off the wagon, but you never really like gave up on the kid. You didn't get mad. Like I got some friends who, when that's happened, have gotten mad at me. So, you know, me and you have stayed connected, and now we're really going to get this out here. And I mean, thank you so much for being on the show, man. I like, it means a lot to me. And I really look forward to everything that you're going to do. And I think it'd be really cool if we do like a little giveaway with the clothes. So, I mean, you and I like talked about it briefly, but we'll figure something out offline, and we'll do a video to kind of tell the people about how they can get their Displaced by Design wear.
Displaced by Design apparel. Here's some
Oh,
merchandise. Yeah, man. And I thank you again for having me. Honestly, I am, very grateful to be your first guest. It was light. It was fun. I'm glad we got to kick it off like this, because I feel like we flowed in and out of being serious and being genuine, and that makes for a great interview. You made me very comfortable.
thanks,
You're a
man.
great interviewer, man. Listen, man. We gotta insert the clap audio.
Hey, bro, thanks,
Clap
man.
audio.
Shoot.
But I'll definitely leave the people with this. Uh,
Okay.
so something that like I was saying earlier, is always heavy on my heart and on my mind. Trying to be an intentional dude.
Mhm.
I definitely think if you're out there struggling, with accepting yourself or expressing yourself freely, I definitely believe that we're one of a kind. Each and every story, each and every life is different. It's yours. It's no one else's. So you need to embrace that. You need to find comfort in the discomfort that is your life. Because listen, you're one of them. You're one of a kind. You're one in a million, man. You're one in a million. So listen, your situation is not your destination. No matter where you are in life, doesn't matter. You know, always remember that you only control two things. You control your attitude and your effort, whether that is a business, whether that is a relationship, your personal life, your job. You only have control over your attitude. You only have control over your effort. This is something that I look to live by. And most importantly, you can look up, you can get up, right? So if you can find a reason to wake up every morning, if you can find a reason to lift your head up, I don't know if you're religious, I don't know if you're spiritual, I don't know if you are neither. It does not matter. It's something about lifting your head and walking into that confidence that'll get you up out of any situation, right? So, those are the three things that I live by. Those are on post-it notes nearly everywhere in my apartment. So, just really hold on to those words. If you got anything out of this interview, out of this conversation, I don't like calling it an interview. If you got anything out of this conversation, great. If not, hit Django or myself up. You got you. Appreciate the love,
I
man.
appreciate you, bro. Look. Thank you so much, man. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. As I always say, I believe in you. I love you. It's your boy Django.